In today's video, we're going to see how to create a newsletter in ACYmailing 6. And by newsletter, I mean like a whole new list that you can send newsletters out to. Hey there, Joomla fans. Tim Davis here. I'm a Joomla fan too. Thanks for tuning in today's Watch Me Work live stream number 35 here on the Basic Joomla Tutorials YouTube channel. Starting out a couple minutes late. That's because I almost pulled an all-nighter last night. So running a little bit slow this morning. The reason that I'm doing this topic today is because on the basicjoomla.com site, last Monday I had some travel plans. It was a long weekend, and I sent out an update to on Twitter saying that there would be no live stream, and then my plans changed and the live stream was back on. And even though I could communicate it on Twitter and on Facebook, I want something that's a little more personal, a little more direct for those of you that want the news. And that's the advantage of a newsletter, of course, on your site, because you can communicate directly to the inbox with people who are who want updates. Of course, if they're heavy Twitter users, they'll get them when you post on Twitter anyways. The other thing, too, is that an email list is yours. Your Twitter account could get banned, or who knows what could happen to it. Facebook could make some changes so you no longer can access the information that you want or put things out. But when you have an email newsletter that's on your site and you have the users download it, you're never going to lose contact or be restricted unless you do something and lose all their addresses yourself with the people that you want to communicate with. Hello, Johan. Good to see you today. So anyways, and the other beauty thing for me sometimes of Watch Me Work live stream is it gives me time to actually work on my site. So today I'm just going to install ACYmailing 6 and create that newsletter, create that list. And also had a really good suggestion yesterday from Allison Meeks. Not yesterday, 2 days ago when I was interviewing her on the Joomcast podcast. And she mentioned about having shorter videos as well on some of these topics that I do live streams on. I think that's a great idea, so I'm going to try to incorporate that into my future plans. It's all time, of course, so anyways. So let's turn our attention over to this screen here. There's my hosting account. Head on over to basicjoomla.com/giveaways. Enter the contest. This month's giveaway, the odds are pretty good that you'll win. You can only win once a year, though. You can only win a prize once a year. So if there's new prizes, go ahead and enter anyways. Okay, so here we are in the control panel for the Joomla install, which is basicjoomla.com. And I'm going to go to Extensions, Manage, and Install as we get started on this process here of installing. All right, ACYmailing. It comes up right away here. It's number 3. But if you can't find it, if it's not showing up first for you, you can always search for it. And then it will still show up. Oh, it actually moved over 1. Probably because there's a bunch of other things in here that refer to ACYmailing. Anyway, so we'll click on ACYmailing. And let's see here. It says it will be version 5.10.7. And I actually don't want version 5. I want to do this in version 6 because it's part of the process of me learning it. So we will then open up a window here that will give us the opportunity to Google that. ACYmailing. Whoops, spell it properly. ACYmailing version 6. And there we go. There's the Akiba site there. That's going to be broken. Awkward. We'll just do this here. We'll go to that broken page. We'll go to akiba.com. And then we're going to, I'm logged in. I'm going to download it. It's going to ask me which I want. I want it for Joomla. And it's giving me starter version 6. That's great. That's exactly what I want. Let's put this ACYmailing in a folder on my computer. And now I'm going to open this, show it in the folder. Once it's finished downloading, we'll just go to it. All right, extensions, install, upload a package. I will go browse. My computer is getting pretty full these days. And so therefore, no, that's not where I put it. Sort by date. Here we go. Let's bomb that in there. Yes, so I was up till 5:30 this morning, actually editing the latest version of the Joomcast show. And so I'm a little tired today. All right, so that is installed. Just go to Components, ACYmailing 6. And now we get to really work our way through some nice steps here. I've done this before as I'm learning this, and so this is really handy to guide you. So default sender information from Tim and BasicJoomla.com. Now the from mail address, where do I want to send this out from? I'm going to send this out from newsletter at basicjoomla.com. And I'm going to have bounces go to newsletter as well. The higher versions of ACYmailing let you have a system that will process your bounce messages, but I'm not going to have a lot of people subscribe to this too fast, although hopefully that will change. So I'll just manage the bounces myself with this free version. Save and continue. All right. Let me just bring up a window here that I'm looking for. Great. Close that. Now, how do you want to send your emails? I'm going to send them through my server. That was the topic of Maintenance Monday this week. I'm going to check that out using SMTP to send out your mail. And then, so my mail server is mail.basicjoomla.com. It's probably picking that up because it's set up from inside of my account, inside my configuration file. And here we go. The keep alive, yes. Authentication, yes. And the username and the password is all in there. Hopefully taking it from my SMTP setup in configuration.php. So later on we'll see if I can't send, I'm going to have to change the sending information. But we're just going to go with this as it's planned here. Accept special characters in email addresses. Why not? Use HTTPS. Yes, I do want to use a secure certificate. Do I want to embed images right in the email, or do I want them pulled from the interwebs and then showing up in the email? I'm going to say to embed it. It makes your email larger, but it also makes it look nicer, because if the person downloads it, email, and then it doesn't have internet when they go to read it later, then they will be able to see that as well. The images as well. Embed attachments, probably not going to send too many attachments, but I will say yes to that as well. If anybody wants to just chat on Zoom, post a note in chat, and I'll go through and create a call that we can talk on. All right, so audience, view all lists, create lists, campaigns, view all campaigns, create campaign, create new template. Automation, view all automations. Okay, lots of options here. Now I will say this, one difference from version 5 to version 6 is that in version 5 you would send out a newsletter, and now there are no newsletters in ACYmailing. They're actually campaigns. In ACYmailing 5 you would send out a newsletter, and then you could set up a campaign with how often it would be sent, or if people subscribe they would get an email after that newsletter after a couple days. Now there's just campaigns, and all those settings are rolled into one. I believe I have that right. Look at that, no chat showing up on the right hand side there. That's all right. So let's go to view all lists. We're not going to have any. Oh, here we go. Newsletters. There's the first one. I wonder how what it based that on, or if that's the default name. So let's go to here, and let's go ahead and just change some things here. The list name, I'm going to call it General News. do basic Joomla general news. And tags. I'm not going to do any tags right now because I don't really know too much about those. All right, so I'm going to save and continue. Nice that they have a save and exit button here. Yes, and that's a good point, Johan. Version 6 doesn't have all the functions of version 5 starter yet. Version 6 is in active development. Yes, that's something I should point out as well. And they are developing. They're coming out with new things every couple of weeks. And from what I've looked at, for sending a newsletter, it's going to be it's all there. So for sending an email out to a list, it's all there. And on the website, there is a change log. Yes, I wonder where that change log is. Let's just close this here. Oh, here we go. Support. Let's go probably roadmap. Roadmap? No. Well, we'll take a look at that for that. Oh, here we go. Change log. There we go. I'm going to post that in chat. Thanks for mentioning that, Johan. And also, I'm going to open up a window so I can post that in the video notes later on. Here we go. And watch me work 35. And there's the link. All right. So if you're hey Valerie, good to see you today. How's the weather in Toronto today? All right, back we go. So I'm not going to do anything with tags. I saved and continue. Now subscribers, there's no subscribers on this yet. And I'm not going to subscribe yet because I'll give that a try later on when we set up a form. Welcome email though, here's where we can change the welcome email that people receive. Now this is going to get us probably into their new page builder template designer. So there's no welcome email template. Create one. You got it. Now here is your basic template, and I could just type something in here after I go edit template, of course. And so the elements of creating a template in ACYmailing, I think I'm going to do probably either as a second video or a separate video, or else I'm going to be doing it later on at the end, towards the end of this. We will see. Anyway, so let's create something here. Valerie says it's cold, gray, and yucky in Toronto. Yeah, you guys have been getting a lot of rain back there. I was talking to my daughter yesterday on Skype who lives in Toronto. All right, so let's put a block. Here's your template. Yeah, there's a lot of nice steps. You can drag these blocks to your template to add them. A lot of nice things added, laid out here. And their title next. And all right, so we'll go done. All right, if we drag a title over here, I'm just going to call welcome. Welcome, and they're telling me that you can add dynamic text to your email. All right, and let's add another. Row here. We've got the block. Oh, we're going to add another block to here. I'm going to change that to thanks for subscribing. And so now we will, let's do something like that. And I will simply put in here, what is going to go into there? We're going to put text into the left-hand side there. Thanks for subscribing. Whoops, daisy. There we go. I want to edit that. Delete. Okay. Thanks for subscribing to the basic Joomla update newsletter. I will probably go through and change this later on. The other last thing that we do want to put in there though are something at the bottom here that will allow a person to unsubscribe. And to do that, we check settings. Yeah, we can, okay, next, we'll skip these, adding style sheets. Yeah, done. And to do that, we would do that with tags. And I have to figure out where those are. Button, the title, image separator, share. We'll come back to that. Thanks for subscribing. A little typo there. I'll keep you up to date. I'll keep you up to date. All right. So we've got a welcome email, and we will go apply. Now we have that template there, which is great. And the template name up here, we can call it welcome to new subscribers. You can, Johan says you can use tagging to personalize the message. Click on the text block. Oh, and then the icon top right. Okay, thanks. Thanks, Johan. Let's just do that. Now the template name. Now this will be the subject of the email that goes out. Thanks. Again, we'll go. Thanks for subscribing. All right. So now we'll save that. Let's go back into edit the template. And so let's see. We've got this here. Johan says use tagging personalized message. Click on the text block and then the icon top right. Duplicate. Do top right. Top right. No, that's color. Oh, maybe I need to put text in here. Okay. And duplicate. Top right. Oh, okay. Yeah. I gotcha. All right. So click inside of the text. Thanks, Ivor. I was reading along there. Then click on the yes. Okay. You're there with me. Thanks. And it's this one here that says dynamic text. So we click on that. There we go. This looks familiar. You can put in all kinds of stuff that you want into here. So for instance, if you want to put information from the receiver, then you can put in their avatar if they have one, their ID, their user ID, their alias, first name, middle name, last name, all sorts of things. You can put in information when the last message was sent, what message number, all sorts of tags down here. What I really like is if we go over to subscription, we can then go in here and you can go insert an unsubscribe link in your mail. And there is the tag up there. And the text will be click here to unsubscribe. Let's do this. Click here to unsubscribe. Yeah, plugins for ACYmailing 5 will not work for version 6. Johan says, thanks for that tip there. And then, now if you're sending out an email that confirms their subscription, you can use this link here. But let's just put in this tag here. And then again, you can put down the list name. And okay, let's just do that. Just keep it simple while we're going right now. There's our button. Click here to unsubscribe. Let's make that centered, and that will be great. Of course, you're going to go back and put in all kinds of information here, like, oh, you didn't subscribe, you didn't request this, just ignore it, you haven't been added, or if there's contact information, especially if your country has an anti-spam law, you probably have to put in the information for people to contact you by snail mail or by phone or whatever. So, of course, we're going to be. I'll have to build this out a lot more. But we have thanks for subscribing, and there's our link. Click here to unsubscribe, and we'll go save and exit. All right, so now we have a welcome. We can, now here is another tab for an unsubscribe email. And let's just quickly set this one up right here. And we're getting good with editing the template. We will take the text over here and double click that. We're sorry to see you go. Enjoy your Joomla site. God bless. Joomla, let's put the exclamation mark in there, and we'll go, so you have been unsubscribed. Keep it very generic here right now. You have been unsubscribed. We're sorry to see you go. Enjoy your Joomla site. God bless. And there we go. Let's just highlight that. We'll make that bold. And that's pretty plain email, but that always can be fixed up later on. All right, so we will apply that. Template name, unsubscribe email. You have been, let's go, you have been unsubscribed. One word. Let's go here, confirmation. You have been unsubscribed. And, oh, probably, yeah, there we go. Now we'll save and exit. So we have, okay, so now we have an unsubscribe mail, a welcome email. We can go back to here to lists. Great, so we can see all the lists. We've created a list. Let's just take a look here. We created a new template, and let's go to view all automations. Let's see just what they're offering us in here. Okay, that's for enterprise, so we won't worry about that. I think new mass actions is probably for enterprise as well. Yes, I think that's for managing your subscribers and moving them from one list to another, or a bunch of things. All right, so we don't need to, that's just a graph that comes with this. The next thing that we want to do is go to configuration down the left-hand side. We're going to skip all these things here because we want to put in, let's see, this button will check if there's any issue in the database. Okay, great. You can click on that. I'm sure there's not. We just installed it. Now, here's where you want to put in invisible ReCAPTCHA, so that when you put a subscribe form on your website, if you do that, people can, bots and spammer bots will not just keep adding themselves. And I had a question about this yesterday someone was commenting on a video, and they asked me to address this. And in fact, that was, who was that person? I'm going to tell you right now because their name skipped my tired brain, and I know it. I'll bring that up over here. Laura Brown, that's right. Laura Brown asked me to comment on this. Hello, Laura. And hey, Laura, thanks for all the comments you've been making on videos. That it's nice to have that communication, and also that helps. YouTube likes comments. When people are interacting, YouTube says, "Ooh, let's show this to other people." All right, so invisible ReCAPTCHA. I already have invisible. I hope I already have it set up here on my site. So why don't I just, instead of going to ReCAPTCHA on Google and set up this domain and keys, what I will do is, I'm just trying to find the proper window here that I want to have open. Yeah. What I'm going to do is switch here just for a second. We'll see if chat shows up on the right this time. Probably not. And anyways, I'm going to go to extensions and plugins. Whoops, didn't want to, I'm going to do that in a new window. Here, I'll show you what I'm doing right here though. I'm going to go extensions, plugins, right click, open in a new tab. Then I'm going to go into filter, filter for ReCAPTCHA. And I will have, yes, here's the ReCAPTCHA. That's the older one. And this one is ReCAPTCHA for invisible CAPTCHA. So now I'm going to move this just off screen quickly. And I'm going to open it. And what I'm going to do is get the information for the site key. I mean, you can't use this on your site anyways, but still I'll just keep it private information. Well, of course, I'm going to paste it here anyways, and you're going to see it, I think. And of course, there's the security key up here that I'm showing you. So what the heck? Bring this back here. And now so there's site key. I'm going to get the secret key from here, and we'll go back here. I will change the security key later on. Let me go in here, make a note for myself. Change security key. All right. And there we go. All right. So getting back to a couple of windows here that I want to have open. I need another screen. We've talked about that. I've mentioned that. Oh, by the way, I never showed the link for the ACYmailing changelog. Never hit enter. There it is. All right. So that is there. Advanced email verification. Check if the domain exists. So if someone's trying to subscribe, ACYmailing will take a look and see if the domain exists, because someone might just be creating a profile hoping that they could just log in right away, or be logged in once. As you know, some sites, once you create a profile, you're automatically logged in, and they would be looking for a vulnerability. And allowed files and the upload folder, where things are uploaded. So if you have some file types in here you don't want being allowed in newsletters, someone else is sending them out on your system, that's where you would change that. We have invisible ReCAPTCHA, so we'll go save. All right. Now let's send a test message. Let's see if a test is successful. Yes, it is. There we go. There's the message ID. Credential server hidden. Yep. All the information. Good. So that did pick up the email information from the configuration.php of Joomla. All right. So there's a bunch of things I've not looked at here. We've created a list. Campaigns is where we do newsletters, templates. We've already been in that area. Queue shows what's lined up. Oh, let's go skip. And there's our two templates that we have made. Oh, there's default templates as well. You can click all. There's the two that we made. And here's a default template. Why don't we just check that out? Default template. Yeah, so they've got some things set up in here that you could just fill in. And that would be worth exploring if we edit. We can click on here and see if I think that looks like it's an image, isn't it? Or it might actually be a layout. Well, let's play around with that later. All right, so I have this newsletter on here. I want to put it on my site. So let's go here. We'll close this plugin for CAPTCHA. Let's go to extensions and modules. And here is the ACYmailing subscription form, and it's ID 161, so it looks like it's possibly just being added today. Yes, because I did this module the other day, CB workflows, I made that. So it is already there. I'm going to just assign it to be underneath subscribe, and those two modules are in the that's the Google subscribe. Here, YouTube subscribe basic Joomla. I got description, position right. Let's go in here. And now I think we did this. This will look familiar from when we did the landing page. I made a landing page in Joomla. That was, Watch Me Work live stream a couple of weeks ago. So we're just going to add to the position right. And we will publish this. And I'm going to call this title, Keep Up to Date. Keep Up to Date. Exclamation mark. Now we're going to go tableless. Then that will just fill the space that is in there. Automatically subscribe. Yes, when someone uses this form, we want them to subscribe to basic Joomla general news. Do we want the display list that and this would, if you had a bunch of lists, people could check in order to join other lists that you have. But I only have one here. And they're all going to be automatically subscribed to this. They'll still get a confirmation email. To display the list before the fields. So we haven't investigated fields there. We haven't created any. Oh, okay. I see. We could put name. All right. So fields is not, I was thinking of custom fields, but fields is like name, first name, last name, telephone number, whatever. So we will just ask them for their name. Display text, display the labels inside or outside the fields. Ivor says automatic subscribe is not allowed in the European Union, GDPR law. Yes. Okay, that's a good point. Now, in this case, I'm going to have text that says subscribe to your newsletter to keep up to date. I only have one newsletter, and that box is only going to be for them to subscribe to that. So if they fill that out, that's the list they want, but they still will have to confirm. So they'll still get a confirmation email. Yeah, so if you wouldn't want to have a bunch of lists and secretly add them to them, but I'm using this automatically subscribe just because that's the sole purpose of this box. And we'll double check when I sign up here to make sure that I get the confirmation email, but that's a good point. And not only is it against the law in the European Union, it's just poor taste to add people automatically. I know in Canada there has to be a two-step sign-up process as well. Subscribe button text. Subscribe. We'll just put that in. Subscribe. And subscribe button text for logged in users. So if you have something different text for people who are logged in, you could use that. Terms and conditions, privacy policy. I don't even know if I have. I must have a privacy policy. I wonder if I have one on here. Let's search for an article. Yeah, I do have a privacy policy. Of course, I'm not going to put it in the terms and conditions. I'll select that. Display the articles in a pop-up for the privacy policy. Yes. And I think that's everything there. Now here we're going to assign the module. Let's make it appear. Where will we make it appear? Let's make it appear on the home page only for now. Oh, I'll just put it on all pages. Why wouldn't I? All right, and notes. And let's put a note in here to... we'll forget. I don't have any notes for there. So here we go. Let's go save. And now we will go back here and refresh. And underneath the information for, there we go. Keep up to date. Let's close this here. So now I'm going to sign. And here's a link for privacy policy. I could probably make that look more like a link. And actually, if you watched last week, I make a custom CSS class. I could change it so that this link is underlined only in this module. You could watch last week's Watch Me Work live stream to see how to do that. Let's go. Let's see. All right, Tim Davis. And my email is, what will I add to it right here? Let's go tim@basic.joomla.com. I agree with the privacy policy, and I'll subscribe. In fact, just what I said there before, I want to have some text before there. Display. Where will I put that text? Displayed list. Fields display. Display text mode. Subscribe. I'm going to have to figure out where to put that. All right. Let's go back. Let's subscribe. An email has sent to confirm your subscription. That's a very nice green box there. That means I will go over off screen and open up my email program. In the meantime, let's just take a look back here. Because what was I just going to say? Oh, let's look at users. Yes, we'll leave this. We're just kind of in there looking around. There is Tim at basicjoomla.com. Subscribe to the Basic Joomla General News. Creation date today is active but not confirmed. All right, so emails will not be delivered until I click confirm. And as I move this over here, we'll see here is my hello, Tim Davis, my welcome, my confirmation email. You've subscribed to our newsletters from our website. We need you to activate your subscription by clicking the link below. We will click. And there we go. Your message has been confirmed. You're here home. And now it shows my, oh, and it did log me in. All right, so that's very, very, very good to know. Although, you know, if someone used it, we're just going back to the domain checker. If someone used a domain that didn't exist, they would never get their confirmation email. So you have to set this up properly. But it did create a profile on the site as well. All right, so let's close those two things there. Now when we refresh this page here, and I bring back up the chat window there, now it shows that I am confirmed. So I think just getting back to that original, to the point that you were making, Ivor, I used this form for the one sole purpose, which was to subscribe to this one list. So anybody subscribing to it, once I figure out how to put a description in there, will know that that's what they're doing, and then they have to confirm. So that's the second action. If I had 3 email lists and I automatically subscribed them to a couple of them that they didn't ask for, then that would totally be uncool and unkosher and unappreciated by the people as well. So I've got the newsletter added on there. Now, listen, I just want, a pro tip here. Not that I'm a pro, but it's something that I've done for a long time. ACYmailing, you can have an archive of the mails that you have sent out available on the front end of your site, which is great because that counts as new content for Google. And Google loves to see new content on a website because that means you're keeping it fresh and keeping it real. And so that's pretty cool too for your SEO and for having traffic driven to you. All right, so listen, I see here a message. I have to change the source for the YouTube chat, so the screen's probably going to go blank for just a second. I'll be right back. BRB. And I am back. It says invalid parameters. For some reason, chat is not working right here. Maybe I have changed YouTube chat. I can't open it while I'm live here, so I guess chat is not going to work for us here today. All right, so let's go back. Anyways, go full screen here. So add a link to your site so that the archive of your newsletters, if they're not private, can be picked up by Google and by other search engines. Why don't we do that right now? Here we are back in that. Oh, that's okay. First of all, let's not get ahead of myself. Let us show a description of how people can, of what they're doing here. Maybe what we need to do is display this list. Basic Joomla General News. List checked by default, Basic Joomla. Then we can get rid of this automatically subscribe to. Let's go back and see what we end up with here. Let's refresh. And okay, we're just refreshing. Okay, so this is probably a better way to go. Basic Joomla General News. It's checked. Keep up to date. And then put in the name and email and subscribe. That also takes away just if there's any fishiness or concern about having the information hidden. Of course, I could also make a module, a text module that just says, hey, please subscribe to, or if you want to be kept up to date, subscribe to here. And then I could embed that, I could embed the subscribe module inside that subscribe module, inside the text module. All right, so you would use a custom module and then use embed the ACYmailing subscribe module inside that custom module, and those would display. That would probably work as well. All right, so giveaway Joomla tutorials. Let's go to, let's create that link. All right, we're going to close this here. Save and close. And just again, shifting windows over here. Going to go to menus, main menu. And we will create a new one here. New. Let's call this newsletter. Thank you, honey. My wife just brought me a little snack. Cover up for my poor breakfast that I gave myself this morning. Newsletter. Item type. ACYmailing 6. And here's the newsletters archive. All right, so what options do we have here? Number of campaigns to display. Now remember, a campaign is a newsletter, so I'm going to show all of them. All right, link type. There's some, we can do some things in here. Add menu title, yeah. Page display. Do we want to show the page heading? No, we don't want that. That's where it will actually have the name of the page as well. You know that annoying duplicate thing? So it'll say, actually probably say newsletter archive, and also newsletter archive. You know, it doubles up in the heading. In fact, I'm going to call that newsletter archive. I like that better. No, it's too big for the top menu. Newsletter. All right, metadata. We can put in information about that. We'll do that later. I'm using Asteroid, so Asteroid menu options. Do I want an icon next to this? Why not? Let's select it. Let's go newsletter. Let's see, what do we have here? There we go. Let's use this newspaper icon. And badge options. Configure menu badge options. Text color. Let's just leave that for now. Well, let's see. We could play around. Well, that's worth playing around with. Let's see what happens with that being black there. So we'll save this and add it. And here we go, and we'll refresh the page. Oh, there we go. I could put text here where this is black. Oh, that's what that is, right? So Asteroid menu options, text color, newsletter text color is going to be white. I think that's what happens. I haven't played around with this before in Asteroid, so, and we can go refresh. Okay, we'll make a handy dandy little font and formatting there. Now that's different than the rest of the menu here. So I will play around with that later. Let's go back to here. Menu options. Let's not have a badge. So let's see how that looks. Just a little detour here playing around with the menu. Do. Okay, one last thing to try here then. Asteroid menu options, subtitle, newsletter, and here's, we can set width. So this takes a little bit of playing around with your template. And not all of you use Android, but as you know, I'm crushing on it lately. And one more try here. Okay, so it's going to do sort of its own formatting thing, and if I wanted, I could match these up, or maybe use the same system in Android. Switch icon only to off. Oh, yes, there you go. Johan, you're saving my bacon today. Icon only to off. Ah. So probably don't need subtitle there anymore. So refresh. That's the other thing is watch me work. It's sort of like going to the pool and having a lifeguard. Okay, there we go. That's what we want, which means I'll take away the subtitle. Which is cool. I could always put subscribe today, but that's not going to work for me right now. So, okay, so now we refresh here. Hey, another pro tip: if you're doing a lot of work on your website and don't want to throw off the Google Analytics because of all your viewing and refreshing, you can add a filter in Google Analytics to ignore traffic from your IP. So that's, you know what? That would be a good Maintenance Monday tip, wouldn't it? Let's put that. Excuse me for chewing here, but Maintenance Monday. Out your IP. Ooh, I'm excited about that one. Okay, so next, where were we? So we have the newsletter added there. Let's click on that link. And you'll see we have no newsletters because we haven't sent one. Let's do that. Although it's going to be a campaign, as I said before. I'm going to create a new campaign. Search for a template. Start from My Templates. Library of templates. So there's the two default ones. Why don't we just let's create an empty template right here. Give us more practice. Campaign name. First newsletter. Whoops, daisy. First newsletter. First newsletter. Email subject. A work in progress. Add tags. Select attachments. No. Save. That's where you would add an attachment. If you created a funnel on your Joomla site or lead page and said, subscribe to this list and we'll send you the PDF of 10 top secrets about Tim Davis that you never knew, that's where you would attach this file to. All right, so now we can edit this email. Let's just put in this text here. Title, a test mailing. Excellent. And in fact, just for fun, let's put text down here and a text block at the bottom. Let's go there because we know how to. Click there. Let's put an unsubscribe and we will insert that into the bottom of our mail there. We will center it. This is so much better than ACYmailing 5's template system. Oh my goodness. All right, so we'll apply that. There's first newsletter, work in progress. There is the formatting. We'll save and continue. All right, so now let's just go back to campaigns. Oh, let's go cancel, save and exit. All right, so here's our first newsletter. And it's a draft. I'm going to do, and it's ID 1. I hate the rec ID 1 on something, but what the heck, it always happens. Let's, I've clicked that. Is there a way to delete it? Well, no, I don't know. Doesn't show that there is. Check my version. Cache clean. Campaigns. There might not be a way to delete it yet. All right, well, let's just go in. And we have other things up here that we can do too. So choose the template. We've already selected that one. Oh, maybe did I not say? Oh, Yeah, choose action. I'm just kind of thrown off because when you create a new newsletter, you can select, usually select a template, but we obviously didn't create that. We actually just created an email that wasn't from a template. We'll click that there. All right. So next, recipients. Who am I going to send this to? I'm going to send it to the Basic Joomla General News. And save and continue. Takes us to the send settings, the default, tim@basicjoomla.com. The from, great. BCC, when do you want your email to be sent out? Now or scheduled? Now, scheduled is a pro feature. I guess. Let's see. Let's send this out now at 2:22, May 25th at 11:55. Oh, that'll be interesting. Let's see. Save and continue. Oh, you can't. Here's the date up here. All right. So we would send this out at 12 o'clock my time. All right. And oh, yeah, PM. All right. Save and continue. Okay, to use this feature, this is safe check, all right? So it analyzes the content of your email. And so here we have everything here. I can send a test to myself, and that sends it to webmaster@basicjoomla.com, and I can save and continue. Now, my one curiosity then is what is triggering this mailing to start. Here's all information here, though. I need to confirm the campaign. Everything is done. Stop scheduling. Okay, so let's go back to configuration. This is pretty cool if you can schedule things. Let's see, queue process. Queue processing, automatic only, yeah. Automatic send process. So here's where you set up how many emails are sent, how often. For instance, I think if you're with GoDaddy, they let you send 250 emails a day. Not very much. So you would have to send, and that includes the other emails that you send out to in your account, I think. So you need to figure out what the rate is that you can send on your server. I don't have that issue because I host my own stuff because of my newsletters, primarily how I start doing that. There you go, right here to cron. To use this feature, please upgrade your version to ACYmailing Essential. See, that's what I thought. I wonder, though, if that email will be sent out if it's fired from, if it is fired from an activity on the front end of your site. Interesting. All right, well, why don't we save this? Let's see, subscription. Here's other configuration information. Now, you want to let non-logged in users subscribe? Yes. Do they require confirmation? Yes. Automatically generate their username. Redirection after confirmation, so we could actually pick a page that once they subscribe where they will be sent to. Can they use user data modification? Can they allow user data modifications without identification? So yes, they can change, but only their subscription. You don't want to give them information. You don't make other stuff available publicly. All right, Joomla integration. Create a user on a site. If someone signs up, will they create a user account on the Joomla site? And then delete the user on the site account on site account deletion. So if someone deletes the Joomla profile on your site, it will delete their subscriptions as well. I'm going to say no to that for now. Send a confirmation email in addition to the site account creation. Okay, so that's if someone subscribes, you will not only ask them to confirm their subscription, but also confirm the creation of their account. That probably needs to be on as well, so it's all nice and legal. Yeah, okay, Johan, that's what I thought, that scheduled sending was a pro feature, but that they gave me the option was kind of strange. Of course, that might just be something that they're developing. So let's save this. What's the time here? 12 o'clock. Let's look at the queue. All right. Just in case it triggers from the front, we'll hit refresh. In fact, let's just clean the cache here. Refresh, see if it's gone out. No. All right, so this is obviously something that's just not quite set up yet. So what we'll do is we'll go into the list of campaigns. It still shows schedule, and it's 12:01. So in case, unless the time is way off on my server here, let's go in here and take a quick look. Yeah, I was just about to do that, Johan. Remove the scheduled. I just wanted to make sure that I was past the time to see if this was something that happened. Send settings. We can remove that in here because it's obviously not gone out. So let's click that. Let's click now. There we go. Or as Ivor said, we could go back to campaigns. We could cancel scheduling, which changes that to draft. We'll go to first newsletter. Now we can go to send settings. We've got select now there. Save and continue. We won't save it, send a test. We will go save and continue. We go through the summary and we say send, and they will take us to the email queue. And then you go up here and click send mails manually. Let's check detailed queue here first. What's in there? Oh, there it is right there. So we could send all. This shows if you have a bunch in the queue, you could send all. But this particular mail here, we will send this one here. We'll click send now. I guess if you had a number here that were ready to go, you would do that were published, you would do send mails manually. So let's click send now. And there's your process. A work in progress. Successfully sent to tim@basicjoomla.com. Let's go back to my Gmail program over here. And see if that has come in yet. There we are. Now this test mailing is what I sent myself six minutes ago. This is the one that was just sent out 0 minutes ago, and that's the newsletter. Now we can go close this. We can go back to the, let's see, we'll clean the cache. Go to the newsletter page. Refresh, and there is a newsletter, a work in progress, and it was sent May 22nd. And there it is to read. It says, you are not connected. The newsletter may include some user information, so they may not be displayed correctly. So this is in a pop-up. Huh. Work in progress. Hey John, can it be set up so if it auto emails a list when a new article is created? Good question. Let's see. I am not sure. Yeah. I wonder if they have a plugin for that. Oh, okay. Sorry. Johan, thank you. That automation in version 6. Yes, that automation is in version 6, enterprise version. Great. I have enterprise version of version 5 that I'm using on a number of sites, but that's cool. So if there's a new article, it would automatically send out. Great. Yeah, and that's a good idea, John. That'd be nice because when you add something, if people are subscribed, your newsletter would be, hey, everybody, here's the latest article that's being published, and here's the latest news, and it would save you having to do that. The other thing too is if we get back into the template, let's go back to let's just go to that campaign. Let's go to templates rather. All right, let's create a new template. And we'll do the drag and drop editor because I like that. So let's give this template name main newsletter. Newsletter. All right. Subject what will I put in the subject in here? Basic Joomla news. Basic Joomla news. And here's what I do. Number sign 000. And I'll tell you why I'm doing that. Because when you create a newsletter, the subject will start out with that 000, and then you just add the updated number. The type is that. No, it doesn't, Valerie, it doesn't mean that that's still in beta. What it means is that, so for your first question there is what it means is that ACYmailing 6 is so different from version 5 that they released it separately. And at first I thought they were kind of nuts to do it this way because they've got ACYmailing 5, which is a mature, stable. I want to use stable. I mean, it is stable, but it's a system in and of its own. ACYmailing 6 is so different that they, instead of mangling 5 in an update process, they just actually came out with 6. They're supporting both, continuing to support both, but eventually, of course, version 6 will be the only one. So the nice thing is that they didn't release version 6 and then everybody who was using 5 saying this isn't working, this is broken, this messed this up. If you have ACYmailing 5 installed, when you install version 6, it actually imports all of the information from version 5 and duplicates your newsletters and everything that you have, but it doesn't wipe out version 5, and version 5 continues to work. If you send out a newsletter in version 5 after 6 is installed, no problem, but that newsletter is not automatically in version 6. So the nice that you can install version 6 if you're using 5 and play around with it, and then when you're ready to go, you can just do a mass migration again of it. But depending on what features are there as well, you might not want to go to 6 yet. So this is a very basic newsletter that I want on here just to send out subscribe functions, and also I want to play around and learn ACYmailing 6. So that's why I'm doing it today. So if you look, and there's some features in 6 that are in 5 that are not in 6 yet, that's what you want to go with. So it doesn't mean that it's in beta. It's sort of like Windows 7 and Windows 8. Yeah, that was Vista, wasn't it? Or was it? Anyways, it's like Windows 7 and Windows 10. They're both standalone different versions of things, and eventually 5 is going to go away once it's all there. The associated plugins on the JED, are they still version 5? I'm not sure, but what we could do is go to ACYmailing, and let's go to ACYmailing. Oh, almost caught me not putting the computer screen back up there. And let's go to, let's see where we would get plugins for this. Down low. Oh, down at the bottom. Woo, way down there. Products, plugins. All right, here's what they have. Of course, these are older versions, so ACYMA is rebuilding plugins. Johan says third-party plugins are not working in version 6. JEvents plugin, for example, is already inside version 6. Okay. So yeah, so these are. Here's one. April 12th, 2019. I would think maybe that is going to work. It works in. Does it show compatibility? Hard to say. I guess it's just something you have to look for and ask them. So if you have Johan says, if you have JEvents installed, you get the smart tagging JEvents automatically visible in version 6. All right. So probably the best thing to do is, first of all, look at the functionality that you need right away, and look for plugins that are available. I would even contact them, and the plugins on the ACYMA site are all for version 5. Johan says not version 6. So I would even contact them and say, what plugins do you have, or does such and such a plugin work in version 6? If there's something that you're looking specifically for. In fact, let's see, you've got the community link here, which doesn't open anything. Feature requests. And here are some places where you can add to the requests. Here's also, you can see what has been requested. So there's automation JEvents. So I would just contact them, contact support, and or look in changelog. So again, it's just one of those things, because version 5 to version 6 is in transition, and are working in parallel. So this stuff has to be added up. All right, yeah, all great points, everybody. Bringing out a lot of good points here. Here I am creating a template. I wanted to show you what I do. So basic Joomla news 000. Let's save that. Let's edit the template. So we've got this header here. We'll put a title, basic Joomla news. And 000. All right, now let's take text. And here I'm going to select this and use dynamic text. So now we can select some content to put in here. And to do that, here's we put something in for community builder. No, website links. No, subscriber. Subscription. Oh, thinking on my feet, live stream. Well, just watching me work. And actually, a while ago I thought this is actually going a lot smoother. Johan, where can I put in articles? The content. Sorry. This is right down here. Thanks. Article in contents. Oh, yeah. I want to link to Joomla article. And you know what, everybody? Let me just kill my camera here because it's hiding down here. Article. I'm gonna grab this and I'm gonna put this up here. And now, through the magic of tags, I can do a couple of things. I can go by category. Let's say that I want to show, so I want to display the title, I want to display the content, I want to show the read more. Clickable title, yes. Truncate the text after 0 characters, going to make this just full. Display pictures resized. I will display pictures, but I'm not going to resize them. And then I'm going to order by the date. Do I have creation? Okay, publishing date, and descending means the most recent, I believe. Now I'm going to put one column, and then in here I only want one element. All right. Next we'll go down to uncategorized. Oh, if I was going to select the category. No, I want to show Joomla tutorials. All right, it's kind of showing. Johan says intro and full image articles are skipped. Okay. I've selected. I want to show one element in one column from this category right here. So what I've setting up as a tag here that will show the newest article from the Joomla tutorials category, only one of them. And the reason that this is nice is I'll explain in a second. Here's our code that's going to be up here to insert. We get this little goofy code here. In fact, let's just hive that off. Let's just put in a separator here. Okay. And of course, as we're playing around here, we could put in text here. We could select all of that. We could go up to here and put in an unsubscribe link. And we could, in fact, put another separator in there. And we will center this. So now we're making a template. And I'm going to apply those changes. And it's called main newsletter. And I'm going to save and exit. And yes, so Ivor's made a point. I can convert that code to the actual article text. And the reason that I didn't do it inside of the template is because once you replace that code in the template, that becomes your template. You always have the article in here. But what I want to do is have each new campaign use that template, and I'll show you what I do. Campaigns. And so we're going to do a create new campaign up here. All right. And so here is the main newsletter that I just created. You can see the profile of it, which is good. I guess I left some lorem ipsum in there. So here we go. We can edit the email. Now notice this email, the subject is 000. So I put a 1 in just as something I do every time. Same thing in here. I'm going to go and edit the email. 1. Now this lorem ipsum, I forgot to take it out before, so I'll just take that out now. I can change the template to change that. But now I have this, this code, which is exactly what I want, because I'm going to apply this, and then I want to preview it. See what it looks like. There's a preview button. Let's see, save and continue. Let's just keep going along here. Oh, campaign name. Oh, really? Okay. Email subject, campaign name. Yeah, walk through the wizard and test. That's what it's going to do. Campaign name. That's interesting. Control. I'm not sure what campaign name is because we have the subject here. So let's copy and paste that there. All right. So save and continue. Oh, the version 5 preview is not in version 6. Okay. That's what I was looking for. Well, what I could do here is choose the list I'm sending to. Okay, this one here. Save and continue. And what do I want to do? I'm going to go right to tests. I'm going to send a test to myself here because I just want to show you what happens with those tags. Over in this window here. And now we'll go over here. So here is the newsletter I just received. And it's showing the most recent article in the Joomla tutorials category. All right. In fact, that's just skipping around here. basicjoomla.com. And if I go to Joomla tutorials, here is how to set up two-factor authentication for YubiKey in Joomla. And now we have a bit of a formatting issue here, and that's because the code for the YouTube video is embedded in there. And oh, that's a script for an Amazon ad. All right, I was wrong. And then down here, this is just the beginning, and we can click Read More, which would take us to the page, which will show where we want to read. Now, if you want to have the full article in there, you have to change the tag somehow. I think maybe you would uncheck Read More, and that would show the amount. So, but basically, one thing I want you to see is that, and we'll just ignore the script problem, this code here, edit email, will always take the most recent article, the way that it's set up, the most recent article. So if you create a new article, if I make a new Joomla tutorials article and add it to the site, and then I create a new version, a new edition of the newsletter, I don't have to go through and select which the article is, the newest one. It's automatically there because the code is set up to always show the most recent one. So I have, I think maybe I have shown this before, but let me just get back my chat windows here too. Let me show you a site that I have here in ACYmailing 5, and I'll show you a very complex template that I have set up. Some of you may have seen this before, so I apologize if it is repetitive. Okay, so I'm just opening it up in my other window here. There we go. This is my CyberSalt site. Okay, and so we'll go to Components, ACYmailing, and see I have 5 and 6 installed. But we'll go to ACYmailing, and we'll go to Templates. So this is version 5. This is Templates in version 5. Whoops, a daisy. I did not mean to click on that. I meant to click on that. Now, so let's close this again. So let's go to this CyberSalt Digest. Now these are not actually images matching those templates, so it's really nice that in version 6 I noticed that when you create a template it gives you a preview of it. But here is my template. Now you notice, so I have the template name, that's okay, that's what's there, but the subject is CyberSalt Digest issue number, and then I just have to type in the number there. And then here I have issue 0000. So when I create a new mailing based on this template, I change the number there. But look at here, I have in today's issue, and then I have table of contents, type heading 2. So it shows anything that's heading 2 in the articles, it makes a table of contents at the top. And then I've got auto content 290 max 1. Now that's category 290, the way the code works out. And this is actually, so what this does is it takes one article, the newest article from category 290, and it puts it in there. So whenever I send this mailing out, that's always 290 I know is my news category, and I always explain what's new on the site. Now we go down to today's clean laugh, and then it takes auto content from category 73, 294, or 297, whichever one. The newest one, the newest, ordering descending, the newest article from whichever it is in those categories, and it will it will put that article in. So when I change the publish date or add a new article, it always takes the newest one. And so I have this template set up so that it always takes the newest. Clean laugh, which is a joke, a one-liner, which is category 288, a clean pun, a quote, an illustration, and then I have some other text in here. And then here's some code for sharing Facebook that you can add, and then just some text there, and my unsubscribe links and modify all kinds of stuff. And what happens is, when I create a new newsletter, I then can replace the tags and it will put in the newest information that's there in the template. And so consequently, what happens is this here, just all of this coding in the template ends up, when you replace the code, you do this, Joomla notification, oh, here we go, newsletters. You get something that looks like this. And the formatting is really off on this, so I need to update it. But here, so here you go. I put the number in for the subject. I changed the subject, the issue number here. And now here is the news that got replaced. That's the all one article. Here's the joke with the article wrapped, one-liner, the ad that I have in everyone, a clean pun. It automatically does that. So when we go back to our example here, if now this is a campaign, number one, we can edit this email and we can replace the tags. Now, I've not found that before in here. So somewhere there's a button for me to replace these tags. And Johan's going to type it in pretty soon for me here, because he's got obviously more experience in version 6 than I do. Where can we replace the tags? Send settings. The reason that you want to replace the tags is, let's say that I'm going to resend this email, this campaign, this out to anyone who subscribes. Because it's set up to show the newest article, as new articles add, I won't get the content that's intended there. Okay, thank you, Johan. Click on the text win tag, and you get the option to convert tags. Duplicate, no. Extend, no. Can I do it? Johan, can I do it? Click on the text window and then get an option to convert tags to actual content. I just don't see where to select that. Kind of. Johan's going to check on that. All right, so if you have an email that you're sending out once, that you're sending out over and over again, and you have a lot that are in the archives from having sent on different dates, when people go to read the archives, they'll get the same single article every time, because it's always set to show the newest one from a category. But if you replace those tags with what they represent at the moment when you're sending, that's forever, and they don't keep getting updated. Just to play around here, let's do this. Let's add a bit more text here. And see, what we're trying to do is get back to dynamic text here, I think. Because then, oh, okay, no, that's not how we did that. We actually, let's delete that. A little bit of a mix up here. We go down to article, drag that into there. We can select the different things that we want. Look, here's where you could select an individual article. Title, And this lists all the articles that are there by category. So we could pick Joomla tutorials. We could go back here and only the Joomla, no, those by category. Let's not do display the category. We won't display the read more. Still need to play around with this a little bit, obviously. So let's insert. Category, truncate, order, number, elements. This might not be a thing yet in here. So definitely, I think I'll be going and asking for a preview and also for a way how to replace the tags. Just to show you in my other example there. Was that it? No. I think maybe I just closed that. Or did I move it back over? This might be the window I want here. Oh, from my old site. All right. Let me just... Okay, so yeah, Johan says that's not an option anymore. Well, that will be important for them to include again. So that's all right. So let me show you how this works in ACYmailing 5 while we're talking about it. So here's this new. So we'll go cancel, and we will go to let's go a new newsletter, which opens up my blank template so I can put in the number there, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to call that just delete. All right. So here's all the code. I can now replace tags, this button up here. Okay, so, and now you'll see here, all my articles have been inserted and replaced in those tags. Now, once I send this out, that becomes a forever thing in the article, in the newsletter archive. And you want to have it a forever thing because otherwise, every time someone clicked on this newsletter, they would get the code would run and it would always look for the newest one that day. And any newsletter that used the same email would use all of that. Would use the same article all the time. So you want to replace those tags. So in this case, what we would do here is you would want to go back. Let's go back to here. Okay. Let's go back into here and this basic Joomla news. I'm going to take out these codes. And this is something too. Johan, have a good night yourself. Thanks for all your help today. You have to go outdoors and take care of your mother, Giselle. Okay. Good night, and get Tim's mode on. Enjoy your Joomla site, and God bless. That's right. That's okay. I don't. Yeah, that's great. People can start using that as a sign off. No worries. I have noticed here that on this template editor, the delete does not seem to work. And so I'm not sure what to say about that unless I'm missing something here. Oh, hit extend. Yeah, so that's something that's a little bit off on the editor here as well. I'm not sure what can be done there. Extend. So that's something I'm going to have to check out with them. So I will, that's probably a few emails I need to send them and see what is up with support just to see what is going on. So anyways, there's the basics of setting up the newsletter. Without this delete working, unless there's something that I'm missing, we really just can, look, I can move that. Just be very careful when you're setting up your template. And actually, so if everything is going well, if just click apply as things are working. And if there's something you need to undo, just refresh your page and go back to the other version. That's a quick workaround for that. But I'm sure they will figure that out, or it might actually be something unique to me. Because it is not working. See, I get a check mark. Oh, darn. Wouldn't you know it? There's how you do it. Select the thing, hit the trash can, and then hit the check mark, and it will delete it. That was not intuitive. Hey, and you know what? A couple of days ago, I was helping someone on a Mac get some printer drivers for their printer, and I went onto the HP site, and I said there was a drop down for operating system and a drop down for what I wanted, like drive or whatever, and the message underneath said no products found, and then there was a button that said change. And I was like, that's so weird. What's the change do? Anyways, after a couple of times, I figured, okay, I can click change. And it was actually a submit button to refresh the information in the drop downs. It was so counterintuitive. But here we go. Go down and say, yeah, I'm going to delete that. And say yes. Now we can go and we could put an article here. And if we wanted to show the newest article, what we would do is we would go one by one. And then we can search down here, and since we know, look, we can search by publishing date, May 1st, yeah. So I've got a bunch here. You could also search by title. I know the one I'm looking for is YubiKey, and it gives me none. Let's see, what was the factor? What on earth is the latest one? Let's go Joomla tutorials. And the title is How to Set Up Two-Factor Authentication. Let's go here. Let's delete that. Something goofy is happening with their search button here. That will find the code, but up here I want one by one. Let's try that again. Let's put an article in there. And then here's all of what we're looking for. Now if I type 2, TWO, that's not doing it. And then I hit back. That's filtering is not working very well. So click category, one by one. Actually, we have to open that up again to refresh. All right, well, I guess we just have to scroll down and look for two-factor authentication. That's filtered by Joomla tutorials. Oh, this is not working very well. All right, something else to try to figure out. Let's try one thing here. I wonder if the one that we just sent out, we cancel that and go to the custom, no, let's go to campaigns. We will leave that. First newsletter. Does it show the code? There it is there. Well, okay, let's just keep playing around with this just to figure this out here. Lists, campaigns, let's go campaign. We want to create a new campaign. In fact, I think we can just go with this one here. All right, there's our code there. So I'm going to save and continue. I'm going to put that there, recipients, save and continue. What I want to do is see once this is sent out, does it replace the tags automatically based on the template? All right, so we'll save and continue. And we will save and continue. Takes us to here. We will send the campaign. All right, and now we go to queue. We will send the mails manually. That one has gone. When we go to the page here, we can go to newsletter. We'll have 2 in the archive. But what I want to see here is, let's go back to campaigns. And this one we just sent out. I want to see if there's still tags in it. Oh, look at that. It did replace them. So the smart tags do work. They just don't stay in the newsletter like they used to. So in version 5, the newsletter smart tags just, if you didn't replace them, they just sat there. But in this case, as when you send the mail, it actually replaces them, and so you can use them in the template, but you also don't have to worry about them sitting there for other people to use them. That is a great improvement. Nice. Excellent, excellent, excellent. And the way that we can really test that is this. Let's go to content and articles. We will go to let's search for in the category Joomla tutorials. Whoops. All right. I'm going to unpublish how to set up two-factor authentication. And so when we go to the home page in Joomla tutorials, two-factor authentication is not going to be showing us the most recent one. If we go to newsletter, oh yeah, no, see, login full, it did replace that one. So that is an issue. Notice how basic Joomla, see, because this is using the tags and it's showing the newest article. If I go up here and publish this, okay, and then go back to here and click news 1. In fact, let's just do this. Let's refresh. I'm going to clean the cache. And I'm going to refresh again. And now the YubiKey one shows up again as well. All right, so forget what I was so excited about. If you use those tags in a template, it won't work. It will work when you send out the mailing, but in the archives, they will still always show not the article on that was newest on the day that it was sent. It will always show the newest article on the site at that current time. All right, well, there you go. At least I've got that set up. I can work with that, and we'll see what other things develop. But yeah, a couple of key things there that aren't happening yet, and certainly this is a bit of a pain to not be able to insert the filter. To not be able to insert an individual article according to the filter, that not working, that's not ideal either. So, unless I am missing something, let's go back to this listing here. Try one more time. Let's go into here. And then I would like to edit. I wonder if I can't edit this now because I've sent it. All right, few things to sort out. I think at that point, there's time to dismount that dead horse. There's nothing else that we can look at. All right, so let me get to the proper windows here. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching this. And hope that it was helpful. It was certainly helpful for me. Figured out a few things that a few more things about ACYmailing. We talked a lot, got a lot of help from people in chat, and that is great. Let me just bring up one more window here and check there. Yeah, so everybody, thanks for your support of this channel. If this was helpful, if you're watching the replay, subscribe, ring the bell for notification, and you'll get updates. Hey, why not go to the site and subscribe to the newsletter? You'll get updates as well about what's happening here on the channel. So until the next time, enjoy your Joomla sites, and God bless.